killed you.
Yeah,
if
I
the fans
know.
weren't on.
Oh, it was bad.
And
That one was bad.
I would have straight up DoorDash Taco Bell and like just I would have been like Amber Heard and done it on your bed.
That's how we're opening the show.
Apparently.
Hey guys, welcome to the Kingsman podcast. I didn't just let a massive one rip right as I was hitting record.
Well, at least she don't have no money no more, so she can't sue me.
Which one?
Amber Heard.
Oh yeah. Well, she can't see it. She's in Spain anyway.
Yep. Anyway,
Anyway,
welcome to the Kingsman
hi.
podcast
Definitely two single guys running the show.
with your host,
I don't. Well, who
the
am I?
good one, and Lord of the Farts.
It wasn't horrible. Okay, fine, maybe it was.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing we have ceiling fans in every room of our house.
And most of them are on at the moment.
About
because,
half of them are on.
Yeah, half of them are on because it's hot.
And we're also from the Midwest.
Anyway, so
That's
farts a lot.
that cannot be my name. Get the rest of this.
What are we talking about?
We are talking about veganism.
Veganism.
Why it is not correct.
Why it is not correct. Now, a bit of a disclaimer. Well, full disclaimer. Well, however you want to say this. Full disclaimer. The diet of veganism, like the vegan diet, the diet of
Just the food.
like exclusively eating plants, there's nothing wrong with that. It's
Yeah.
attitude you take when you're saying, "Hey, I'm a vegan."
Yeah.
That we are talking about, and that we think, and that when I pitched this to you initially, I said it's straight up unbiblical. Like the attitude.
Yeah,
behind
it is.
It's straight up.
It goes beyond vegetarian.
It goes beyond
like-
vegetarian. Now,
Well, I wanna continue a preface. I wanna say this. Even like vegan or vegetarian, whatever, like products,
right,
like dairy-free stuff, basically,
right,
or stuff that's like, I don't know, grass-fed, natural, whatever you want to call it. Well, I guess it would be grass-fed if you're
Right.
vegetarian, but if it's plant-based, that's where I'm trying to
Right.
go with it. I got no problem with that. Like the
Like-
Impossible meat, whatever.
right.
Cool.
It's not so much someone saying, "Hey, I only eat plants," and there are some people. There are some people that have dietary restrictions where they say, "Hey," they can come up and say, "Hey, I can't process meat or fish or
Yeah.
animal products, any animal products, for whatever reason, be it
Yeah.
like a lactose intolerance or
Gastric bypass.
gastric
That's
bypass
another one.
or whatever." We're not saying like, "Hey, if you have a diet," we're not calling people who are vegan because of dietary restrictions out. We're
Yeah.
not calling.
We're calling out the if I say the religion behind it, they're all
Right.
everyone's gonna but the worship behind it.
Right. Like I said, the attitude behind the more famous vegans, some
Fair.
of the most of
Yeah,
the more famous
fair.
vegans,
Yeah.
or people who have made being vegan their entire personality, which there are people that do that.
Mm-hmm.
We are calling those people out. That I'm gonna be honest, from the outside looking in, and Nathan, from my
Mhm.
point of view, it looks like a cult. It
In mindset, yes, but in practicality, no.
right.
Like I think I see where you're going though, because
Right.
like there is such a you're either 100% with us or you're not at all.
Right.
Idea behind it all that is
Right.
really not good, and if you're a vegetarian, the vegetarians and the vegans get along
Right.
because vegetarians one step away, just not fully bought in, but I don't know, I can't
Right.
see the
Yeah.
problem with the term vegan is that it means more than vegetarian.
Right.
It usually encapsulates all the extra stuff with it.
Right.
The mindset, the whole, I got to follow all of this vegan stuff.
Right.
It's kind of a sheep mentality, sheeple type thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's so. And again, a few episodes ago we talked about convictions,
Yeah.
And if you feel like eating meat is a sin, I'm not gonna fault you too much for that.
Mm-hmm. I'm solving a problem before it starts.
Right. See, Anakin's over eating food right now, so he's fine.
Yeah.
But
this one, I think, just wants to chill a little bit.
But so with all that being said, with all the okay, this is what we're talking about, like the cultish mindset of it. Nathan, why do you think veganism is wrong?
I think it's wrong because they wouldn't say that they're worshiping the animals. I say that they do.
Right.
But I think it's wrong because they are putting, and they would agree to this, they are putting animals on a pedestal that's almost higher than not even, higher than not just God, but also people. They're placing something, and a lot of them would say this, they're playing something above human life and also above God. And a lot of them don't believe. There are a lot of them aren't believers, so the God aspect isn't even in their minds, even though it is. But
I've even seen some of them, like there's some of them on like TikTok and YouTube reels and Instagram reels that'll cross my screen every once in a while, and I saw one of them say, "Oh, vegans are better than God because we're trying to save the animals, and God's not." No.
He was pretty firm about the sacrifices.
If you pay attention, creation account.
Thank you.
Where does it say? Genesis 1 and 2. Where does it say in the creation account? God made the lion's teeth, the antelope. God made the human's teeth, the lion. You eat bacon. Everybody eat everybody else. So, in the beginning in the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth, yes, He created us vegan.
In a sense that we can't eat meat.
In the sense that Adam and Eve back then did not eat meat or, consume. Well, I can't even say. I didn't say they were vegan, but in the sense that they didn't eat meat. Because there was no death in the world.
Right, yeah, there was no death, so that's different.
But that being said, a realization just popped into my head. That does not mean that they did not consume animal products like milk.
I think they did.
Like milk.
I think that was eligible. I think so.
Because God created cows making milk.
Yeah.
And yes.
Well, I don't think God would have had a problem with that.
Right. Humans taking the excess from.
I think that was kind of partly why humans were created, actually.
Right.
But, it's an interesting phenomenon. Right. So, we originally were created to not eat meat, right? I mean, everything had the ability to eat meat in the case that, hey, somebody sinned. It just happened to be that it was the original humans, so they doomed everyone. But if you look at what happens right after the fall, and I think this is a key point.
Right.
It says God fashions for Adam and Eve clothing from animal skins. Right. And I can't remember if it was sheep or goat. I can't remember. I can find it here real quick. I don't think it matters that much.
I'm not entirely sure it says, because it really doesn't matter, because he says God fashioned them animal skins.
I'm looking it up right now. Garments of skin. Yeah, it doesn't say. So there's a lot of people who say, there's a lot of people who say, well, it doesn't say that God killed anything. It just says he made the skins for them. Okay.
Before you continue.
Yeah.
I just want to make this clear, and if we haven't made this clear before, just because the Bible does not say something happened, does not mean it didn't happen.
Thank you.
Right.
But technically, we're going off of a little bit of educated guess.
Right.
But my question is, okay, God's the teacher. He's the ultimate creator. He knows everything about everything. Why would he just snap his fingers, make them clothes out of skin, without teaching them how to make clothes for themselves?
Right.
Because that is your first go-to.
Right.
Right? Is making clothes out of animal skin.
Right.
You know, fabrics and cotton and wool and all that. That comes later. So just the way that it's worded, you know, God fashioning, it kind of sounds like there was an active work that was put in.
Right.
To me, that says God killed an animal. He showed him how to do it because there was sin in the world.
Right.
He showed him how to do it, skinned it for him.
Showed them how to make the...
You know, like, dried out the skin and stuff and, like, showed him how to do it.
Right.
Tanned it? I don't know.
Right. And
or however they did it.
Okay. Fast forward a little bit more to, I think it's in chapter 4, the story of Cain and Abel, right? Both of them make sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we were, you know, this just kind of stands out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'll ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Nathan.
Yeah.
Story of Cain and Abel. Which sacrifice was God pleased by?
Abel's.
And what did Abel sacrifice?
He took a lamb and I think it was a lamb. Took a lamb and sacrificed it.
He took the first of his flocks, I think.
Yeah, the first. Yeah. Let me just double check that. Yes, I know. It's a Bible study. It's a story that everybody knows. I'm sorry we don't have every single detail in our head. Right. Keep going. I'm going to find it.
So Abel takes one of his animals, kills it, and I assume he's learned the process from Adam and Eve. This is how God wants it done, and sacrifices it to God, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't say. It doesn't say the animal, so it's just the first of whatever of his flock.
Right. So
there probably wasn't that many flocks that they knew how to tame yet. So
right. So it's just brings up the question of if God was really adamant on us remaining vegan after the fall.
He wouldn't have done that.
He wouldn't have done that.
He would have done the leaves.
He would have done the leaves. The rules were okay.
Or wool or something.
The rule, at least in terms of God's reaction to the sacrifice, the roles would have been reversed.
Yeah.
If God had
wanted us it literally would have been, yeah.
If God had wanted us to remain vegan, Cain's would have been the appropriate sacrifice.
And Abel's would have been.
And Abel's would have been wrong.
Yeah. I can be on board with that, yeah.
Given Abel's temperament, I don't think Abel would have had Cain's reaction, if that were the case.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Maybe he would have.
Maybe he would have. We don't know.
I mean, jealousy was there.
Ultimately, that's not really the point.
Clearly, they didn't see eye to eye. So.
Right. You're right. But that's not really the point of the story. It's there's something else here that needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
So God. So from the beginning, literally from the nexus point of the fall,
mm-hmm.
God understands that now humans are not. Now we are in a sinful world.
Right.
Lions are killing lambs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, bears are hunting or going out and eating salmon.
Yep.
All these animals that weren't killing each other, that were kind of chill before, were chill with each other before.
Yeah.
They're now eating each other, defending themselves from each other.
They're scared, probably.
They're scared. They don't know what's happening. And some of them remain, hey, I'm going to eat the leaves, I'm going to eat the plants, I'm going to eat whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. So, before we get into one of my counterpoints, I'm going to fast forward a bit. Again, a long ways.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll know where I'm headed with this. One of the main proponents of veganism that I've seen, at least in like biblical circles, is look at the Daniel fast. The Daniel fast.
I like the Daniel fast.
I like the Daniel fast,
but it wasn't done because of wanting to be vegan. It was done because the king's food was not something that was clean.
Right.
That's why.
A lot of people miss that. Now.
And they actually got fat off of the fruits and veggies, but,
right. Again, go back to our preface, our disclaimer, whatever you want to call it. We do not have a problem with the vegetarian diet, the vegan diet. You want to sit there and eat plants.
That's well within your freedom. You can do whatever you want.
That's within your freedom, right.
I don't care.
If you have a conviction about eating meat, right. All right. Go ahead.
Well, so, I think we've pounded the Genesis account and the Daniel account in a little bit. There's a passage that I think is very clear, and it's the passage everybody uses, to prove this point. But it's still a good one. Acts 10:13 and 14. Jesus says, God says to Peter, get up, Peter, kill and eat. Right. And then Peter says, by no means, Lord, I've never eaten anything unholy and unclean. And then God was just like, what I've cleansed, no longer consider it unholy. And it happens 3 times. And then finally he does it. He finally eats. Now, in context, that was because things that were previously unclean due to the law were now purified. I think that had something to do with the sacrifices and stuff. I'm not a huge thing on the law, but I know enough of it to get by. But I'm sorry, I don't have those 3 chapters of Exodus memorized.
But, Acts, and I was kind of building towards Acts 10:15.
Yeah,
is of God saying, don't call, don't call what I have cleansed uncleansed, or don't call what I have made clean unclean.
Yeah, like sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was gonna say, like, if you have a dietary thing or whatever, or you've got a personal conviction or something, cool, all right, fine, you're free to have that, but you can't shove it down everybody else's throat.
Right, and that's what vegans do. Is they're like, like I mentioned before, hey, we're better than
the
God.
Majority.
They're like, we're better than God because we're trying to save the animals. No, you're not. God says clearly in Exodus, you shall have no other gods before me.
Mm-hmm.
That means don't worship any creature, any other creature, any creation before you worship me.
Well, why did he write that? What were the Israelites trying to serve?
A golden calf.
Golden calves. And what happened after that, too? Well, I think the Baals were starting at that point in time, too.
Right.
But you have Baal worship. You've got the Asherah stuff going on. You've got these Molech. That's another one. Likely
some very early. There
was a lot of polytheism at that point in time.
A lot of polytheism. Some very, like the ancient ancestors of the Greeks were probably starting their religion over there.
Yeah, because the Nephilim, the Philistines, would have just died. Right? No. They would still be around because the time of Joshua hadn't happened yet.
Right.
So yeah, they would have been the Nephilim.
Right. So
you've got the stories. Think of David and Goliath. Even Goliath widely considered to be a descendant of Nephilim.
Right.
And also he had a bunch of brothers too. People forget about that.
Right.
They were regarded as being...
There we go. I released one.
Wow. Right in the middle of a phrase. Anyways.
Sorry.
I don't even have a response.
This is not this is not a typical podcast, y'all. In case you're tuning in for the first time.
This is typical for us, though.
Right. But
this isn't your bog standard podcast. This is just two dudes talking about something that they thought about
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyways, so the point I was making was the Philistines were considered to be,
right.
Nephilim, a child of Nephilim, and so, a lot of them would, who can challenge Goliath and who can do this, blah, 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 blah. Now, at that point in time, it was all smoke and mirrors.
Right.
But,
and
when you get destroyed by a skinny dude with a rock, of course, well, I guess he may not have been skinny. I actually think Goliath was scared of David, but that's a different theory for a different day.
Side note, that's why I like Prince of Egypt, and we're gonna make a video on Prince of Egypt at some point. Get prepared for that. I don't know when.
Was that the next one that we were gonna? No, that wasn't the next one.
That wasn't the next one.
I don't remember what we were talking about yesterday.
Yes, we try to plan out these videos in advance.
I totally forgot what we talked
about. Both of us totally blanked on what we were going to talk about after this one. But anyway.
That's fine.
But that's why I like Prince of Egypt. Is it clearly, like, we're, okay, I've said this to you, I've said this to the kids in youth group several times. Were there demons? Okay, let me say it this way.
Yeah.
The fallen angels, as well as Lucifer, did not lose their power when they fell. Now, that being said...
Yeah, there's a lot of angelology in there, but I'm tracking.
Yeah. So, my main point is, I think that the fallen angels have power to perform certain miracles.
They can do some. I think
even if it is just God saying, "Okay, you can do that because it served my purposes in the end."
Mm-hmm. They have the ability to.
They have the ability to affect the physical world. At least
from what we've seen in the Bible. Yeah, I think it's pretty evident. But
and they have the ability to affect the world in ways humans do not understand, which could appear like miracles. So, these people who are in the movie they showed the two head priests, and all they're doing is like smoke and mirrors. They're concealing, like switching things out and bright flashes of light.
Yep.
Instead of turning a bowl of water into blood, they turn it into Kool-Aid. But all it is smoke and mirrors, and maybe every once in a while certain demons just kind of like
they poke a button.
I
think a lot of it was witchcraft and that kind of thing too, though. I really do.
Right. So, but try kind of staying back on topic. If you are sitting down here saying, "Oh, whether the cow is golden or not," the cows are more important than we are. Then why are you eating their food?
Yeah.
Why are you sitting here saying, "Oh, we should eat the food like the cows do"? You're stealing their food source. If they're so important, why are you stealing their food source? And
it's a lot of hypocrisy.
It is a lot of hypocrisy. Yeah. And I'm going to bring up sheep and, other animals like it who grow like wool and cotton and like other stuff that are used in making clothes nowadays. And you would know this probably growing up on a farm, but
I didn't grow up on a farm.
Well, growing up near a farm.
Well, I was on a farm for a year and a half, if that counts. So,
but if growing up in the Midwest.
Fair enough. Yeah. We're farm enough.
We're farm enough, but sheep, if you don't sheep in particular, if you don't like shear them, like
they get too hot.
They get too hot. Two, there's possibility of diseases getting into the wool, and because of their wool, you can't see if insects are getting in there and biting them and giving them diseases that if.
Well, and you know how they clean them.
Yep.
Like when they have a lot of wool, you know how you clean them?
How?
The easiest way is you take them all in a cage, and then it's like a hydraulic lift. They put them underwater for like just a few seconds, down and up.
Right.
And they just dip them, and it kills a whole bunch of stuff, and they're okay because they can hold their breath for a while.
Right. But sheep. If you don't, and this goes for anything else with wool or, thick fur. Excuse me.
Yeah.
If you don't, even, dogs and cats, they'll grow a winter coat and then shed it off.
Yeah.
But if you don't, sometimes there are some breeds of dogs that if you don't take them into a groomer's and allow the groomers to shave their fur down.
Yep.
Their fur gets matted. Their fur, insects get under their fur, and
that's why I have American Shorthairs.
Right, and bite them, and say an insect bit one of the cats we have inside here, and we couldn't see it because their fur was too long. We wouldn't know until it was too late.
Right.
But anyway,
that's why we have insurance on them.
Anyway, that being said, us, taking the, shaving the excess wool, taking the excess milk from cows.
Yeah.
Because that can cause problems.
That can cause issues. Yeah.
That can cause problems. Believe it or not. So us taking the excess from the animals.
It's actually helping them.
Is actually helping them, and most animals have maximum 15 years.
A lot of the lifespan is really short for animals.
Maximum 15 years. That at the very.
There's some like elephants can live forever, and at tortoises and whales and stuff. But
most of the animals most of the animals that we
like
typically.
Most dogs go about 12 to 15.
Right.
Cats a little bit longer, like 14 to 17-ish.
At least where they're comfortable and they're like, okay, we're a relatively healthy cat or dog or whatever. We can live for a few more years here. But beyond that, I remember I had one dog we had to put down because he was 20 years old, and he was blind in one eye, 3/4 blind in the other. We're pretty sure he had diabetes. We're pretty sure he had some kind of canine arthritis.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He couldn't see. Basically, he couldn't see, couldn't hear. He was in constant pain. We put him down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he lived a very long life.
You have to.
But.
Well, my parents just had to put down their cat just the other day because he was old. He only had one eye. He had one eye almost his entire life.
Right.
And it started getting very cloudy, and he couldn't see.
Right.
So you couldn't see out of his one eye. And then there was one day that my brother was backing up his car, and he accidentally hit the cat.
Right.
And he disappeared for a few days and then came back, and he had a broken paw. And, Mom and Dad said, we could try to put the money into this, but this is a 17-year-old cat.
Right.
And so they finally put him down. And I remember I saw the cat. I was back home for something in the spring. I can't remember what it was now, but I went back home, and that was the last time I saw the cat. And I was like, this cat's about to fall over dead.
Right.
I didn't know how it was able to even find its food bowl.
Right.
But you got to take care of your animals. It was gonna die, so let's give it a little bit at least painful death than it was already experiencing.
Right.
So there's good things you can do, but you don't have to worship it.
Right. You don't have to.
Like, what are you gonna do? Like, a lot of you probably know about this because of some things, but a lot of the Native Americans or a lot of other people groups
right.
kind of have like a polytheistic, spirit of the animal. You got to thank it and that kind of thing.
Right.
And, I say that borderlines on veganism too, even if you're still killing. I guess maybe it's not. Maybe the idea of it, of placing the animal above people and above God ultimately, or as a replacement for God, it's just not right.
Some of it, yes, it is that. And other of it, it's just like showing a respect to the animal, just saying, hey,
yeah,
I have cut your life short,
I still don't. I still think it's
it borders on
I would say that's still kind of weird. It's like
it's
I can be thankful without worshiping.
Right, it's kind of weird, but the point being, one, you are worshiping something above God.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
In some cases, like the video I mentioned earlier, a vegan was just like, vegans are better than God because we're trying to save the animals. And I've seen other vegans saying, "Oh, all the meat eaters are no better than Hitler, and you're causing the largest Holocaust ever." So
Wow.
Yeah,
I've heard that before.
I've seen that, and I'm just like, really.
Really, my meat eating self that owns 5 or 6 cats.
Me that has had dogs his entire life and fish. Never had the fish for long, but I've had fish.
Yeah.
So Nathan,
he's out cold. Look at this cat.
I think he's finally understanding not to mess with the cords.
I think he ate and he just got tired.
Right. So anyway, the other one's out cold too.
He's fat. Look how fat Anakin is.
I know.
His whole back is just.
He's struggling to stay up on the top of that couch, isn't he?
You was starting to sludge a little bit.
But anyway,
I need to take him on a walk.
Anyway.
He is.
Okay, so
sorry.
Back on topic. Distractimus Prime.
I was looking at my void over there.
So, Nathan, that spurs a question, or since vegans at the very least, they put animals on the same level as humans. Where in the Bible does it say that animals and humans are on the same level of?
Oh, that it never does.
It never does.
Actually, it's much the opposite. In Genesis 1, it says man has dominion over the earth.
Right. Now, that being said...
Hold on, let me get the exact wording.
That being said,
being exact.
There are animals out there that are very intelligent. While we sit here and mock our cats a little bit for some of their lapses, we can tell that they're very intelligent most of the time.
Yeah.
So... Intelligence-wise,
yeah. So they will rule over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the sky and over the cattle and over all the earth and over every creeping thing. So we were clearly placed above the animals,
right?
And the argument that, and I'm not going to play devil's advocate, but I'm going to point it out. The argument that a lot of vegans make is that. In verse 29 of chapter 1, it says, God said, "Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of all the earth, and every tree which has fruit yielding seed, it shall be food for you." And then same for the beasts and the birds and everything that moves or lives on the earth. Everything that's green, that plant, is food. But then it changes.
Right. It changes.
It changes because of the sin curse.
Right.
Meat's all of a sudden an option. You want to know why I think he did that, though?
Why?
Garden of Eden, you could stick your hand out and you had food, basically.
Right.
All of a sudden, you're out, and there's desert, there's a whole bunch of different climates, biomes, there's just different land areas that aren't going to, be good. Something's got to be fair game. So
I mean, they hit the mic there.
Oh, you're fine. So, animals are going to have to be in that.
Right. And
sorry.
To add to your point, nowhere in the list of punishments that the curse entails. Does it say? Does God say to Adam and Eve, "I have revoked your dominion over the animals"?
No, he keeps it. In fact, it's actually further emphasized in chapter 4.
And this idea isn't even just limited to God saying, "I give dominion to man." If you go, I forget the verses, but if you go to the account where God creates man, He says, "Let us form man in our own image." And then it says God went and fashioned man.
Yeah, in chapter 2.
In chapter 2.
Yep.
And nowhere else.
You don't see any other account that's explained in terms of all of the other creations. All of the other creation. It was God spoke it and it happened and it was good. But then, chapter 2, he goes into detail about how man was actually fashioned.
Right. So, okay, chapter 1, God says, "Let us make man in our own image," right? And he says, okay, Moses, because this is Moses writing this down. He's like, "Okay, Moses, I'm going to take you back. I fashioned you."
I literally built you, dude.
Of all the creations that all of creation has God's fingerprints on it.
Yeah.
You can look around and see design everywhere.
Yep.
But in all of creation, God's fingerprints are the most deeply imprinted on man.
Yeah.
Why? Because God said let us.
Yeah.
Trinitarian.
Yeah, Elohim.
Yeah, Elohim.
God
said, "Let us make man in our image." That means God said, "Let us put our fingerprints on man."
Yeah.
The deepest, the most intimate, however you want to say it. And then he said like you said in Genesis chapter 2, it says He's fashioned man. Not He spoke to a pile of dirt and all of a sudden
breathe.
Yeah, it was there. Man was there. He fashioned man, and then He fashioned woman. But, and again, like you said, most of Genesis chapter 1 is God spoke. It was, and it was very good. And evening and morning was the first day. Oh, now I remember.
What?
We were going to talk about creation.
Oh, hey. Yeah, you're right.
I knew this was going to happen.
Like, we were talking about it. I was like, man, I hope we think of it like while we're doing this.
I knew it was going to happen, Nathan.
Okay, yeah. So, Genesis 2:7, God formed man of dust from the ground, breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being, and then gives him purpose after that. It like literally explains it.
To emphasize
God formed
to emphasize the point even further. The Psalms, David writes, "You knew me when I was in my mother's womb."
Yep.
And in my mother's womb, you fashioned me. So God knows. God spent the time not just to create man as a race, but He spends time on every single human that is conceived.
Yeah.
Which, again, makes abortion no bueno.
Yeah.
But,
no good.
But God, Genesis, the creation account, God clearly, of all His creatures, of all His creations, God spends the most time on man. Because most of the time, again, in Genesis 1, God speaks. It's there. Ta-da. It was good.
Yep.
But then He says, "Let us make man in our own image." And then He went down and formed man from the dust of the earth. In the Psalms, "You fashioned me in my mother's womb. You knew me while I was in my mother's womb." And even the redemption story.
Yeah. Look at him. He's all balled up.
Is focused around man.
Yeah.
Jesus calls Himself the Son of Man, not the son of...
The son of a cat.
not the son of
beef
of cow or sheep. Or
Actually,
pig.
he comes down pretty hard on the cattle stuff.
Right.
He kind of gets angry at the people for serving the golden calves.
And
Aaron. Sinai. Imagine being Moses walking down Sinai, and you just see Aaron there with a calf.
Well, why do you think he threw the original Ten Commandments?
I would have thrown him at Aaron. I'd have been like, you don't see the lightning and all the smoke.
You know what he did? You know what he did? He said, Aaron, walk forward.
Yeah, but with a bunch of tablets and just bam, bam. And then they fell onto the ground.
Right.
That was theatrical, by the way.
Right. Right. That was our interpretation, not actual what happened.
The King Smith edition.
Right.
The KSV.
Ooh. No.
No.
No. That would be very much heretical.
But it would be hilarious.
Yes.
But, yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Not going to happen. No.
You remember that? I won't say who it was. You remember that one kid that tried to make his own translation but didn't use the Greek or Hebrew? He tried to use the King James.
Yep.
A former buddy of ours in college.
Former. Very much emphasis on former.
Yeah. Oh, you're not right there, though. You go here.
Yeah, it's...
There we go.
Everything in the Bible emphasizes, hey, man is special among creation.
Yeah.
We are formed by God from creation, from, conception. We are given dominion over the animals.
Yeah. We're above it. Like, that's just that's the hierarchy. That's how it works.
And
people don't like it, but whatever.
I'm gonna. I said before that they often refer to people like omnivores as people who eat like everything, plants, animals. They refer to us as.
I'm a supervore.
Yep.
I will eat everything and anything.
Excuse me. They refer to us as, oh, you're all a bunch of Nazi serial killers. No.
Didn't know that
You are not.
Was a serial killer.
I didn't know I was Ted Bundy. I'm sorry. Yes. No. Well, yes. We do not. We do not approve of Ted Bundy's actions.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, that was bad. Oh.
But that's the.
I get the point.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to make the correlation.
To compare us to people who have absolutely no regard for life.
Oh, this guy's starting to wake up.
To compare us as people who have absolutely no regard for life of any kind.
Mm-hmm. You know what's funny is that a lot of the vegans and stuff are the same people who are okay with abortion.
Exactly.
Like, they're not okay with life. They're just okay with life when it's convenient for them.
Right.
Take that people group, the vegans that, basically worship the animals. Take them, place them in an area where there is no plants or like where there's famine and stuff.
Right.
See how long they stay with their vegan stuff. I guarantee you it won't be long.
It won't be long.
Yeah.
And you know what proves it to me?
Mm-hmm.
There are people who have left being vegan.
Yeah.
Veganism. They said, well, and of course these are people who do it by choice. They said, I was not getting the nutrients I wanted or I needed to function as a normal human being.
Yeah.
Because, yes, there are some people who have dietary restrictions and like, okay, you're no matter how you eat it, how you, in what form you eat it, you could make a smoothie, make a ground mixture of all the meats.
Look at this cat; he's just so tired.
Yeah, make a ground like chuck of all the meats.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you do, how you prepare it, they can't eat meat. Their body can't process meat.
Yeah. I'm sorry for them. Number one.
I'm sorry,
but
I'm sorry. You can't eat bacon.
That would be unfortunate.
But there are people who the inverse is true.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how many supplements they take,
Yep.
because guess what? Most humans need meat to survive. There are vitamins and minerals in every meat that no matter how much they process it, you need.
Yep.
To function, and no matter what mixture of pill supplements or smoothies,
sometimes your body just has to work it.
Your body just has to. Okay, I have to eat meat in order to.
How he's trying to sleep. He's gonna have scoliosis.
Yeah, in order to function as a normal person, I have to eat meat.
Look at how he's laying.
He does this a lot.
Here, I'm gonna move my arm because he's gonna die if I.
Anyway, but yeah.
So this is why we have Dominion. You were going to have back problems.
You say that as if we don't have back problems.
But we can do something about it.
Right.
These guys, they need someone to go pop, 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 pop.
But anyway, it's...
Do you want me to transition?
I think we've said our piece.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
Tune in next episode when we talk about creation.
Yeah, when we talk more about creation.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Hit the dinger. The thing that goes long, like the Taco Bell one.
Except, don't go to Taco Bell.
Don't go to Taco Bell. That. Well, I don't want to rag on Taco Bell. Well, no, I'll rag on Taco Bell. They have awesome food, but it's volcanic. I didn't have Taco Bell before.
All right.
This.
And
you would have thought I did.
Yo, we are
subscribe.
Speaking of subscribers, we are still 27 subscribers away from 100 subscribers.
Yeah, come on. What are you doing? I see you. Wait, wasn't it like 50 something last week?
It was like 20. We were at 20, or well, no, it was like 30. That a few weeks
Subscribe.
Ago. Subscribe.
What are you doing?
Shove this in your friends' faces.
What are you doing with your life? If you haven't subscribed to the King Smith podcast,
probably stuff that's
I was going to say, actually, yeah, that probably is true. But still, subscribe.
You will get content from us about the cats.
You'll get content.
You'll get content. Yeah.
You will definitely get content.
Okay.
The quality of the content, I cannot confirm.
Right. I will not promise any sort of quality.
I mean, there might be good video quality.
It might be good. There will be good video quality. As for everything else.
Yeah, we kind of just wing it.
Audio quality too.
Well, the audio is pretty good. Yeah.
But as far as
bye.
See you later.
Yeah.